Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new version of Hacks and Hobbies live stream. This is a new format that I'm just trying out because I wanted to give a new experience for not only for myself but also the guests that I'm going to be bringing on to the podcast Hacks and Hobbies. You can listen to that, check that out on a weekly basis. We have 2 to 3 episodes dropping, and it's friggin' amazing. So I'm going to start bringing on the guest that I've got on the show. I've got Aisha here. She's coming in from Lisbon, the other part of the world. It's 3 p.m. for her. Aisha, say hi.
Hello, everyone. I'm Aisha Makara, artist, author, and entrepreneur. I'm based right now in Lisbon, and I love to travel. So I'm also like I would say, global traveler.
Awesome. Thanks, Aisha. And then we have David Shafran. Hopefully, I'm saying his name correctly. It's the first time I'm meeting him. I
Amazing.
think I did it. David, where are you coming in from? I think you said New York, New York.
Yep. Yep. New York, New York. David Chaffron. Amazing that you got my name right. That was very impressive. And happy to be calling in and talk about some dance stuff that I'm into.
Ooh, I love that. And then we have Charley coming in from Salt Lake City, Utah, the flattest city on the planet. No, not really.
No, we got a lot of mountains. We got a
So
lot of mountains,
there's
a lot of
no
skiing.
other
So
mountains,
yeah,
right?
nah. we got
All
some we
right,
got
I
some
love
flat
it.
desert out to the west, but a little bit of both.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for letting me try this for the very first time here on the different platforms. We're doing live streaming, and I've got very specific questions for each one of you. So stick around. So, Aisha, I'm going to start with you first. Your life's journey is incredible, from orphan to entrepreneur and artist who sent art to space, actually, which is friggin' amazing. How did you maintain resilience and joy throughout your journey?
Well, I feel like when I growing up, I always wished to have a parents. I was like, as a little kid, you're always kind of feeling like, oh, would I have one day to have parents? And
Mm,
one day I just decided that it's not going to happen, and it's okay, because life is continue, life it's amazing, and I get to
mm,
kind of like work through the process of understanding that even so I didn't experience to have parents, I still have my own experience about
mm,
life. So I it's just different, and that's
yeah.
what I get to accept. And I started my journey to just go and explore the world. And my dream was traveling around the world, go and explore as many cities as I can, live as many countries as I can. And I started to do that. In age of 15, I faced death of my friends that I was that time
Mm,
hanging out with and a lot. And so I said to myself, like, I get to start to really live the life. So I made a list over the things that I want to achieve through my lifetime. And that
amazing.
time I made a list of the, like, until I'm going to be 60 years old. And I was thinking, like, 60 years is such a long life, And so I decided, like, between 20 to 30, I'm going to travel around the world. Between 30 to 40, I'm going to be entrepreneur and businesswoman. And between 40 to 50, I'm a mentoring people and coaching. And between 50 to 60, I'm like a volunteering for the UNESCO and the UN. And after that, I'm going to just die. That was kind of my like idea that time. Now, of course, I changed by the time
Yes.
I have like list over what I'm going to do until 200. And the same time, I'm feeling like that time when I was 15 and I got to face the death of my close friends, I feel like many people from the orphan or like from that background, they don't survive or they don't live too long because of many different things that's happening there. The
Yeah.
society
There's
doesn't
a lot of
accept in a way
there's a
that it's a lot of like mental issues, well, like
mm-hmm.
drug issues and many other things. So
Yeah.
like I just overcome that by facing in my like through my own experience things, and kind of like decided to get over it, or kind of like get through it, because that was my
Amazing.
choice. And I finished the school. Many of us doesn't finish the school
Right.
and don't go to the university. So I went to the university. I finished my degree of engineering. I actually I moved to Norway, and learn Norwegian language, working in Norwegian culture as engineer. So I have done a lot of like amazing things in my life, and I still doing it. I'm right now working on my art exhibition, my soul
That's
exhibition
amazing.
in Lisbon, and I'm sailing. My new hobby. I started to sail more like regularly, and so like I'm always improving. I'm always learning. I'm always evolving. That's kind of
And
my
that's
like look at life. You get always grow no
sure.
matter what you're going through. You get to grow and you get to be happy and joyful. Like
Thank you
it's
so
a
much.
choice that we have through life. It's a practice, of course, and at the
Appreciate
same
it.
time it's a choice. As a human being, we have a choice to decide how we want to feel. Even so through the tough time we say, okay, I can be like sad, how long I want to be sad. So get yourself together and go and be happy again. It's so easy to be happy. I used to say, like just look at the sun. It's already like making me smile when I see the sun, for example.
Well, thank you so much, Aisha, for sharing your journey, sharing how you stay resilient, how you uh, maintain joy throughout that journey. Thank you so much for sharing a little bit of that. David, I want to talk to you a little bit and ask you, transitioning. You transitioned from high tech ventures to culture immersion through dancing, which is absolutely fascinating. I'm not a dancer. I suck at it. I'm really stiff, and I probably need to learn some flexibility. Talk to me about what sparked your shift and how do you immerse experiences and foster those deep human connections.
Well, I think reaching a point of burnout made me realize that what I was doing before wasn't working for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, running a tech company that I was passionate about, that was helping people, it was a healthcare company out of MIT. It was a beautiful project. It was a beautiful business. We helped a lot of people.
Yeah.
But on a day-to-day level, I just wasn't feeling great. I didn't feel like I had access to other parts of my personality, to my emotions, to
Mm.
my joy, my flavor. And frankly, just going out saying yes to dancing salsa one night gave me that spark that was so clear that, oh, I need more of that. I want to do more of that. And so I just followed the feeling.
Mm.
And following that feeling led me to Medellin, Colombia, where I danced full time for a half year and really was able to build out this part of my personality that I felt was lacking. As a guy, I grew up in America. It's very easy to push away emotions. It's very easy to say, hey, dance is kind of not for me, maybe a little effeminate. And what I realized eventually was actually all that's BS and dance for
Yes, that
everybody.
is.
And it feels great. And I'm going to do a lot of it because it's what my soul needs. And then ultimately, because I had such a transformative experience doing what I did for myself,
Yeah.
I felt like I should offer it to other people. Right. And so what we've built is basically a reflection of what I did for myself, which is a
Mm.
1 to 4 week dance immersion for people to experience the essence of a certain dance style, for example, salsa,
Mm-hmm.
and really bringing that joy, that flavor, that affectionate part of you into your life in a really palpable way. And you ask, like, well, how do we do some of these experiences? How do we do these immersions? It is a really curated environment with the
Mm.
best dancers in the country who are working with you one on one to
Yeah.
help you go from wherever you're at to the next level, not just as a dancer, but as a person, and somebody who can really express and embody these values, and really just get the joy, right? Like just get the joy out of all of it.
Yeah, man.
So that's what it's about.
That's really powerful. Have you heard of somebody by the name of DCBX or Dance Bachata Experience? Essentially, a friend of mine, Lee, uh, has been doing these dance explorations for the past 16 years, and they basically go all around the world setting up these events. They even have like a training session where they will do every year in DC, and people can come and learn, and they have like dance lessons and whatnot. I think that'll be a really great connection for you.
It would be.
Charley,
I haven't. That was great.
all right, sweet. Charley, you've blended corporate, nonprofit, and spiritual teachings into a unique role as Chief Consciousness Officer. I've never heard of that before. Chief Consciousness Officer. How can businesses practically implement consciousness into their corporate culture? I know feels like it should be a common sense, but I guess it isn't.
Consciousness has always been there. It's just bringing awareness to it, right?
Yeah.
The only thing we've known is the mind. The only tool we've ever used is the mind. The only thing we've ever learned with is the mind. The mind's the middleman, and the same mind that creates the problem can't solve it. And as if you look at the world and how divided and conflicted things are right now, we don't have the tools to fix the issues we've created. If we drop into the source, consciousness, which created the mind, created the thoughts, created the physical being, created everything. Everything's consciousness.
Yeah.
We just bring awareness to that, allow the masses, the employees, every level of the company to understand that. It changes everything. Just giving them access to who they truly are and bringing the business background with it, removing the spirituality from it. Consciousness is religion. Consciousness is spirituality. Consciousness is business. Consciousness is nonprofit. Consciousness is everything. It's kind of like the fish in water, the wise fish swimming through the ocean. Sees two young fish and says, "Hey boys, how's the water?" The two young fish look at each other and say, "What's water?" So as all four of us are sitting here, we're swimming in consciousness. So let's just bring awareness to that. And kind of like 30 years ago when technology took over business and everyone knew that they needed a website. They knew everyone was going to be online. They knew everything was going to be purchased online. None of the intelligence within the organization knew how to code, how to put a website up, or had any clue what to do. So they kind of looked into the corner of those weird dudes over there and weird women and men and said, "I think we need to hire them." So a CTO became, the CTO became very important. Yeah. Consciousness is going to become the center of humanity. Yeah. It is now, but it'll become very quickly. It's going to be more exposed. I believe companies were going to want a CCO on staff. They're going to want someone who understands consciousness at a very high, clear level. And again, not from a spiritual angle, but someone who has a business background that can bridge those two worlds.
Yeah. Wow. That's really powerful, Charlie. And, the more you mention consciousness, it's almost like what Gary Vee's been talking about, the awareness of being, hey, what's making you happy? Why you should be so aware of who you are and where you're heading. And I think consciousness has kind of like a very parallel, or if not very transitional, to awareness.
Awareness is awareness of consciousness. It's our senses, right? It's conscious. We're conscious right now, all four of us. Unconscious if we get hit in the head. Consciousness is more of a noun. Consciousness is everything physical and non-physical.
Now, right?
Yeah. So the awareness of watching all four of us, the awareness of dance, the awareness of the traveling, everything is embodied in consciousness. The consciousness is fundamental to our experience and our reality. And if that is what our awareness chooses to dance, beautiful. If our awareness chooses to travel, beautiful. Everyone just starts to understand that consciousness is everything. And once we tap into that source, rather than being a slave to this mind, and starting to use it correctly, everything changes.
I love that. Wow, this is so powerful. I mean, I love each of the different paths each of you took to find your, who you are in the core and how to bring it all together. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. So let's begin. I have a discussion theme. For example, let's talk about the importance of authenticity and personal and professional growth, because that's what we went into, right? We took this authentic moments of who we are and applied to our lives so that we could be more in alignment with who we are. So I would love to, see who wants to take a stab at that and, give us a little feedback.
So I can start. Like for me, authenticity, it's always just express, ourselves the way we are and who we are in the moment. And don't be ashamed of our background or the way we grew up, and sharing our wisdom so far as we learn about ourselves. I feel like every time when we learning something about ourselves, we're grounding more towards earth, because we're understanding that life has a beginning and end, and deeper we understand that life has a beginning and end, we started to understand that what we can create while we're here, what we can give as a service while we're here, and how we can be happy and joyful at the same time by giving what we're, giving to the society or to our family or our friends, because I'm feeling like we are very social beings in reality. Even so, like for me as an artist, I need a lot of like my own time. And at the same time, when I'm like sharing myself with other people, I'm always like giving the best of
Yeah.
myself in the moment, because I feel like that's what, we're here to be. God, whatever we believe, source, want us to be happy, wants us to live happy life and joyful life.
Amen.
And that we get to understand for ourselves what joy for us, what happiness for us, and share it with people around us. That's for me kind of like authenticity, something like that,
Thank
sharing
you.
ourselves with the world.
Thanks so much, Aisha, for sharing. I really appreciate that. David, how about you?
Yeah, I think in general, I try to shy away from narratives about, what this is all about. I just know my own personal experience. My personal
Yeah.
experience when I am letting myself do things that come from a place of inspiration or truth, then I feel better as an individual. And I think people in the external reality, in business, in relationships, also reflect that and make my life better as well. So, in a very selfish, kind of experiential way, authenticity has served me. And I think that seems to work with most people. So I'm a general advocate for it. I also have a story about it related to, spirituality or whatever. But, it's a story for me. I think it's just a story. It works for me,
100%.
but it's more about the experience.
Yeah.
It's all about the
Thank you,
experience.
David.
I agree.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into deeper conversations when we do the full version of the podcast episode. Charley, how about you?
Spending as much time as I had with an incredible teacher, right? Everyone in that spiritual realm talks about love.
Mm,
What they found out is that authenticity is actually the highest frequency on this planet, and that authenticity doesn't mean love and light. It doesn't mean kindness. It means being in the moment, right? Like
yeah.
Aisha says, Steve Jobs was very authentic. People knew his weaknesses, knew the certain part of his life that he didn't enjoy, but he'd put a dent in the universe. Authenticity is Dan. I mean, it's everything that's everyone is talking about on this call.
Yeah.
Authenticity is exactly what your soul came here to do. And that, again, we have an expectation, we have a construct. Like David said, there's a specific story, narratives of what we think authenticity is, that we're here to help or do this. And they're all constructs. So if in the moment it means to tear someone apart because that is their karma and they need to be taught a lesson, that's part of it. That's a weakness of mine. I don't like conflict, but there have been many times where I've been walked over because I wasn't authentic to myself. And I have a throat thing where I'm constantly clearing my throat because it may not seem like it, but there's a lot of times where I don't speak up. There's a part of my soul's process in this incarnation to speak up more, to be more authentic, to leave a tech company and start dancing, like shit like that. That's incredible to me, right? There's certain things in my life that I speak and talk about that I still need to live. I still need to create that action in my existence. I need to stop talking about it and actually do it. So authenticity is whatever the hell someone wants to do in the moment.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Thank you, Charley.
I agree with Charley as well. I'm just feeling like, sorry, I would like to add extra things. Like I feel like authenticity it's something very creative. It's coming from the source as well, because like when we're sharing ourselves and the sharing our ideas, sharing our dreams, it's something like very beautiful. And more dreams we achieve in this lifetime, and more dreams we're living, and working the dream in this lifetime, I think the God or the source would be so happy for us. That's why like I feel like more we are authentic to ourselves by expressing it and living it. It's like we're making our life so incredible, beautiful, and so incredible, magical in this lifetime.
I appreciate that, Aisha, for bringing those insights into it. This has been so much fun getting to know you guys. Just at the surface, I really enjoyed the conversation. And in closing, I'm just gonna have quick questions, quick rapid fire insights, if you guys can share. David, what's the biggest lesson you've learned from dance that applies to entrepreneurship?
That's a great question. The first thing that comes to mind is the first lesson I learned in partner dance, which is being clear about your intention. I think ambiguity doesn't work in relationship, doesn't work in dance relationship because no one's going to be able to follow your lead. And as a leader in a company, if you can't be clear about what you want, what your expectations are, nothing will get done.
Yeah.
People won't be able to work with you. And everything is built on relationships, whether it's businesses or dancing on the dance floor.
Thank you so much. Charley, what's one immediate action businesses can take to become more conscious?
Just look into consciousness, Google it, find out exactly what it is, kind of like the fish swimming in water, right?
Yeah.
Bring awareness to what consciousness is and how much access they have to it, because we've all had a blank check and most of us have cashed it for $100. That's, I don't know if about you, but if I had a blank check, I'd cash it for a lot larger amount than that.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And Aisha, how does joyful living influence creativity?
For me, it's like I started to practice joy. Like I think since I started to travel, since like I was 16 or 15. First, I was started to practice a lot of gratitude towards like life, towards that I'm alive, I'm
Mm,
healthy. I have opportunity to travel. I have opportunity to explore, learn new things, and every day I'm grateful, and every evening I'm grateful for everything that's happening in my life, even it's the good, the bad, the ugly, the all of it.
yeah, yeah,
And after the gratitude, I started to access joy and abundance. And for me, like since I started to access joy and abundance, I understand life is very joyful and abundant itself, because we can see so much beauty in each day and so much joy in each day. And joy in my life, it's a state. I'm like very intentional. Every day I'm creating my day. I do like a intention of the day, I do intention of the week, intention of the
nice.
months, intention of the year. And for me, it's all connected to joy, and that my joyful living, by living a dream, by doing what I love, by creating what I love, creating the opportunity for myself and people around me. So joyful living is a state. Joyful living, it's a
Yeah,
choice. Joyful living is a way of being
I love
for
it.
me.
Thank you so much, Aisha. This has been such a blessed day in the morning, especially after running out of gas, getting stranded in the middle of the street, getting gas, and then, running back and taking care of, dropping my kid off. Luckily, I had extra time in the morning that it didn't affect the morning as much. But I'm really grateful to be here with you guys. Thank you so much for your insights. And guys listening, anybody watching in the replay, please leave a comment here. If you want to connect directly with Aisha, David, or Charley, we'll have links in the show notes as well for you to connect with them. But watch out, we're going to have a much deeper conversation with each one of these guests. I really employ, what's that word? I really congratulate them for, taking the leap of faith with me on this first ever live experience. And so thank you so much, guys. This was a lot of fun. And for next week, I'll have two new guests on the Hacks live show. Can't wait for you guys to listen to their stories on the podcast that you'll be experiencing. And then next week, we also have two new podcast episodes dropping on Hacks and Hobbies podcast. One is with one of our guests, Evgeny, and as well as me teaching learn how to speak to the lens like a pro, and why it's important to grow deep roots to show up splendidly. Guys, thank you so much again for joining us here on the show. Please reach out to me to tell me what I did wrong and how I can improve this even better, right? It's an experiment. And something that I want to highlight, my good friend Pat Flynn's book is coming out. It's coming out exactly 20 days from now. It's called Lean Learning, and it talks about how to achieve more by learning less. And here's the thing, right? We're always constantly learning so much than we need to implement. If we could just learn a little bit and then jump and do it, like David, he took that salsa class, he's like, oh my God, I want more of this. And he spent more time to practice. And Aisha, traveling, and Charley saying, we need to have more consciousness, and created this entire role of the consciousness officer. Guys, thank you so much for being here with me. Appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks so much.
Bye for now. Thank you.